Hi, everyone. Mike White here. Welcome to this week's blog post. First full week of August is underway, and it leads me to start thinking about the dog days of summer. And normally, and I don't know how that word normal or what that word normal means anymore, but we think of August, we think of the dog days of summer, we think of funds and vacation and in thus in the mortgage and real estate community dealing with uh, generally peak amount of business and people hurrying to get into their houses before school reopens. And it brings to mind something for me that has always been sort of this amazing question, which is some people closing five or 10 loans a month this time of year are looking frazzled and exhausted and on the verge of a breakdown, if you will, and others who are closing this roughly the same number of units or maybe even more are making it look almost effortless. Now, I know most of you are going to say that the people who are closing more loans or the people closing the same amount of loans without looking frazzled or harried at all probably have assistants, or their processors do more of the work, or any number of reasons. But I know many loan originators who close 10 or more units a month, and they do it in less than 40 hours a week. And they don't have waves and waves and waves of people helping them. They do it seamlessly, because their value is in their time. They've come down to a number of units, and they've come down to an amount of hours, and they've threaded the needle, if you will, on the value of what their time is and how to optimize what they're doing. And to me, it's all about the system that you're using, the processes that you're dealing with, and where and when you do the work. For example, it reminds me of this story, uh, and it may be a little funny, but it's appropriate with this time of the year. Think about, somebody who wants an ice cream cone. You can go and you can get an ice cream cone, and you're dealing with, maybe a couple of hundred calories. And if you have one ice cream cone, a month, it really doesn't show up anywhere. It doesn't really change things in your life. Those 200 calories over the course of that month kind of, blend away. But for people who really like ice cream and think differently about it, some people want to eat ice cream every day, some people 2 or 3 times a day. And that's a whole completely different story because of the volume of ice cream. That amount of ice cream, those number of calories are not dissipated, just as easily. If you do the same things, adding 200 calories once a month doesn't show up. Add 600 calories a day, and you can bet that the weight is going to show up rather quickly. And so the point becomes, then people say, well, if I really like ice cream, I'll work out, and I can eat my ice cream cones, but I'll go to the gym and I'll work out and I'll burn off those additional calories. And the problem quickly becomes that sounds good in the beginning, but having, once you eat the ice cream cone, you've had the thrill and the enjoyment of the ice cream cone, the pain of having to go to the gym. Somehow going to the gym doesn't happen as a direct correlation. In other words, we delay or even eliminate doing the work. And so, here we go. Things start to go out of control very quickly. But what if you had and made the deal? Look, I'm going to have the ice cream, but I'm going to do the workout first. You couldn't get the ice cream if there was some mechanism in place that said, until you went to the gym and burned those extra 2, 3, 4, 500 calories, whatever it was going to be, you couldn't have the ice cream. It was not possible. Then people would be given the choice. If I did the work up front, I could have the reward. Then they'd be making choices. Either do the work first and then you can have the ice cream, and that to be certain you wouldn't gain the weight, or you wouldn't do the work and then you wouldn't get the reward of the ice cream. And to me, that is really the nutshell of people who are working right now at fairly similar paces or fairly similar number of hours, but are getting completely different results. Because in the mortgage business, the people who are doing more loans than the people who are doing less loans, the people who are more calm and relaxed about that are people who are trusting their process and know their capacities. And in many cases, they're doing the work first before they're looking for the reward. And you see it all the time. There are loan officers, I'm sure you know, and you've seen in your own branch, your own company. Every deal is a whirlwind coming into that final week up until closing. And it's almost exhausting. And, thank God that deal is over. We got it closed on time, almost as a symbol of accomplishment. And I'll be honest with you, in today's day and age, closing your loans when they were supposed to close shouldn't be an accomplishment. It should be the reality. It should be normal. Why? Because let's be honest, most of the time, way back at pre-approval with these people, if you've done your job right, you've eliminated 90 to 99% of all the things that could possibly pop up in your deal that may cause a delay. In fact, right now in your market, you know your systems, you know your team, you know your company, you know the process, you know how long it's taking to get title and appraisals and documentation and things like that back. You know that in advance. You should be able to calculate what the process needs to be in order for you to close your loans on time. And the benefit is, do the heavy lifting up front. If you take care of doing a really great, fully documented pre-approval up in the beginning of the loan, your loan's 90% done. The work shouldn't begin on the file when the contract shows up. The contract showing up should be the beginning of the end of a successful endeavor. It's better to get out there in front of the deal and glide into the closing. If the customer's not going to want to give you the documentation in a timely manner before you issue the pre-approval, then don't give them the pre-approval. Nothing better right now than the abundance of opportunity that we have. Right now, you and I both know there are a ton more opportunities to do business than you're going to be able to get done in the course of the day. So why would you work with anybody who won't follow your system? So why would you do it? And the answer is you shouldn't. Set the example up front to the customer and the referral partner so that they're aware. This is how we're going to get these things done, because lenders all around are missing closing dates. Lenders all around are pushing things off. Lenders all around are not providing an exceptional experience for their customers. And for you, it's a choice, just like with the ice cream cone. If you like ice cream and you have to have your ice cream, going to the gym is not a big price to pay to enjoy your ice cream. If you like doing 10, 15, 20 units a month, whatever the case may be, if you like doing it and you don't want to work 60, 70, 80 hours a week or more, if that's what you want to do, then modify your system. And I'm telling you right now, by doing a better job up front, setting the proper expectations about how this is all going to come together, will get you most of the way there. So the choice is really yours to make. There's only so much drama anybody can handle in their lives. And if you deal with 5 minutes of drama in the beginning of the file versus 5 hours worth of drama at the end of the file, what's your preference? Setting the expectation, making people aware of what you expect of them and how to have a great transaction work for them, that 5 minutes of drama in the beginning is certainly worth not having to deal with 5 hours of drama the last week before closing. So if you want to have the number of units that you want to close, if you want to enjoy being a consummate professional, if you want to reduce the drama in your business, then have a plan. Do the work up front. avoid the rush. And then you know what? Go out there, close your loans, make everybody happy, and go out and get yourself some ice cream. As always, Mike at imtcoaching.com for any of your questions or comments, and we'll talk to you again next week. Take care.